If the man you see in the mirror feels disconnected from the man you feel you are inside. If your penis, once a reliable source of confidence and connection, no longer gets hard the way it used to, or perhaps, not at all. If you've noticed things just aren't working down there, and the frustration, the quiet disappointment, the sense of a door closing on an important part of your life has become a daily burden, and no matter how much you want things to be different, they remain stubbornly the same, then let me tell you something most men your age have never been told, and what most doctors will never take the time to explain. There's a tiny, overlooked spice sitting in your kitchen cabinet right now. It's dark, it's unassuming, and it costs pennies. Yet, this humble spice holds the potential to help restore the powerful blood flow, the forgotten sensitivity, and the fundamental sexual strength you once had, and it can begin to do so in as little as 30 days. This isn't about a synthetic blue pill that forces a temporary, often disconnected, physical reaction. This is not some expensive, overhyped supplement from a late-night infomercial. And it certainly doesn't require an embarrassing trip to the doctor for a prescription that comes with a long list of side effects. I'm Dr. Mark James. I am a physician and a professor, and for over 3 decades, I have dedicated my practice to helping men, especially those over 60, reclaim their vitality through natural, evidence-based methods. I've seen the look of despair in the eyes of good men who feel their bodies have betrayed them. And what I am about to show you today could very well dismantle the way you think about aging, masculinity, and sexual health. For decades, we've been indoctrinated with a lie. We've been taught that weak erections, a fading libido, and a decline in performance are simply inevitable parts of growing old, a tax on living longer. But I am here to tell you that the truth is far more empowering. In a vast number of cases, this decline isn't caused by the number of candles on your birthday cake. It's caused by a constellation of reversible conditions: chronic inflammation, poor circulation, insidious nerve damage, and hormonal imbalances. These are conditions you can actively do something about, starting today. And that's where one powerful, fragrant little spice, the common clove, steps into the spotlight. In this detailed discussion, I'm going to reveal 5 incredible, science-backed benefits of the simple act of chewing one single clove every day for 30 days. These are benefits that directly support stronger, more reliable erections, healthier and more flexible blood vessels, and a profound improvement in your performance and confidence as a man. And at the end, as promised, I will share with you the exact, simple routine I recommend to my own patients. This includes the optimal time to take it for maximum benefit and, crucially, one very common mistake that could completely cancel out the benefits, leaving you frustrated and believing it doesn't work. Please, stay with me through this. Your health is worth this investment of time. Before we dive into these powerful, life-altering benefits, I invite you to become part of this community. Make sure you hit the subscribe button and turn on that notification bell, so you never miss another natural health tip designed specifically for men like you, men over 60 who are ready to live fully. And if you are ready to take back control of your vitality, to feel strong and capable in your own body again, type a 1 in the comments below. Let's create a wave of positive intention. If you're not there yet, and skepticism is holding you back, type a 0, and let me know what your biggest questions or concerns are. I read these comments, and your feedback helps me better support your journey to a healthier, more vibrant life. Alright, let's get into the heart of it. The very first benefit of chewing just one clove a day, and perhaps the most foundational and immediately impactful for any man struggling with weak or fading erections, is this. It directly and powerfully boosts blood flow to the penis. You see, at its core, an erection is a hydraulic event. It's all about circulation. It is a finely tuned dance of nerves, hormones, and blood vessels. And if blood cannot flow freely, rapidly, and in sufficient volume into the 2 spongy chambers of the penis, the corpora cavernosa, then nothing happens. It doesn't matter how much desire you feel, how attractive your partner is, or how much you yearn for that connection. Without blood flow, there is no erection. Clove contains a remarkably powerful natural compound called eugenol. This compound is a star player, a potent vasodilator, which means it helps relax and open up your blood vessels. When you chew it, not just swallow it whole, You begin to activate this process almost immediately, starting with the rich network of blood vessels in your mouth and continuing as it works its way through your entire system. Let's take a much closer look at how this foundational mechanism works. 1. Boosts blood flow directly to the penis. Let me be completely honest with you. In my 30 years of practice, this is the concept that, once truly understood, changes everything for most of my older male patients. The moment a man internalizes the fact that blood flow is the real, physical key to a strong, reliable erection, something clicks. A light goes on. The shame begins to dissipate because he realizes it's not a failure of his manhood or his desire. It's a failure of his plumbing. Because it's not just about testosterone or a fleeting thought of desire. If the pathways are blocked, if the vessels are stiff and narrow, if blood can't get to the penis and, just as importantly, stay there, then nothing happens. No pressure, no rigidity, no firmness, no performance. I have had countless patients in their 60s, 70s, and even 80s come into my office, their shoulders slumped, avoiding eye contact, ashamed to admit that things haven't been working like they used to. They say things like, "Doc, I still feel it in my head, I want to, but my body just won't follow. It's like there's a disconnect." That breaks my heart every single time because I know it's not their fault. It is so often the result of years of accumulated, silent damage, poor circulation from a sedentary lifestyle, silent inflammation simmering beneath the surface, or microvascular damage from years of borderline high blood sugar. And that is exactly where the humble clove starts to make a profound difference. As I mentioned, clove is rich in a compound called eugenol. Think of eugenol as a natural traffic controller for your circulatory system. It's a natural vasodilator, meaning it sends a signal to the smooth muscles lining your arteries, telling them to relax. This is especially critical for the small, fragile, and easily clogged arteries that lead to the penis. When you chew a clove, your body absorbs eugenol almost instantly through the mucous membranes in your mouth, bypassing the digestive system for immediate entry into the bloodstream. From there, it goes to work supporting the production of a crucial molecule called nitric oxide. Nitric oxide is the master key to erections. It's the signaling molecule that tells the arteries in the penis to open wide, allowing blood to rush in and engorge the erectile tissues. As we age, our natural production of nitric oxide declines. Clove, through the action of eugenol, helps to protect and enhance the body's ability to produce and utilize this vital molecule. And I have seen this work not just in sterile research papers, but in the real lives of my patients. One of my favorite stories is of a patient named George, a 68-year-old retired schoolteacher. He started chewing a single, high-quality clove each morning on an empty stomach, more to humor me than anything else. He was deeply skeptical. By the third week, he called my office. He didn't even wait for his next appointment. He told me, "Doctor, I have to tell you something. This morning, I woke up with something I hadn't felt in at least a decade." He was referring, of course, to a strong, natural morning erection. The sheer joy and relief in his voice, the smile I could hear through the phone, that said more to me than any lab result or clinical trial ever could. Here's the critical distinction. Most mainstream treatments, like the little blue pill, aim to force an erection by manipulating a specific enzyme pathway. They work, but they often come with side effects like headaches, facial flushing, and can feel artificial. Clove doesn't force anything. It helps to restore the foundation. It supports healthy blood flow naturally, systemically. There are no pills to time, no embarrassment at the pharmacy counter, and crucially for many older men, no dangerous interactions with common heart medications. Just one small, potent clove every day, patiently giving your body the raw materials and the signals it needs to open up the highways and byways of your circulatory system again. And the best part? The benefits are cumulative. The longer you use it consistently, the more consistent the results tend to become. That's because eugenol doesn't just provide a temporary boost. It's also a powerful antioxidant that helps reduce the oxidative stress and arterial stiffness that were blocking erections in the first place. It works gently, from the inside out, helping your body to remember how it used to perform back when blood flow wasn't even a thought in your mind. Now, if you're still sitting there wondering, can something so small, so simple, really make that big of a difference? Trust me, I asked the same question early in my career. But when you see the science converge with the real-world stories of men like George, you realize it's not about the size of the intervention. It's about the precision, the consistency, and the chemistry of letting nature do what it has always done best. But blood flow, as critical as it is just the beginning of the story. Because while eugenol is busy opening up your arteries, it's also going after another hidden enemy, a silent fire that's quietly destroying your performance from the inside. Stick with me. What you're about to learn next might surprise you even more. 2. Reduces inflammation in the prostate and pelvic region. One can't tell you how many times I've sat across from a man in his 60s or 70s, and after we've established a level of trust, he leans in and shares the same quiet, persistent complaint. Doc, I have to go to the bathroom all the time, especially at night. I can't get a full night's sleep. And as we talk more, I realize that things just don't feel quite right down there anymore. There's a sense of pressure, of dullness. And often, when we dig deeper, the conversation reveals that it isn't just about urination or physical discomfort. What they're really talking about is a gradual loss of sensation, a weakening of pelvic control, and a slow erosion of confidence in their own body. So, what is really going on here? In a staggering number of cases, it comes down to a silent but incredibly powerful and destructive force: inflammation. I'm not talking about the acute, red, swollen inflammation you get when you sprain your ankle. I'm talking about low-grade, chronic inflammation, a slow, simmering fire that builds up over years in the prostate gland, the pelvic floor muscles, and even at the very base of the penis. It's slow. It's sneaky. And it is absolutely devastating to a man's long-term sexual health. This inflammation irritates nerves, constricts blood vessels, and creates a hostile environment for healthy sexual function. Here is where clove transforms from just a spice into a vital part of your healing arsenal. The active compound in clove, eugenol, isn't just a blood flow booster. It is also a potent, scientifically validated anti-inflammatory agent. Rigorous studies have shown that eugenol can significantly lower the levels of key inflammatory markers in the body, such as TNF-alpha, tumor necrosis factor alpha, and various interleukins. These are the very same chemical messengers that contribute to swollen, boggy prostate tissue, a condition known as benign prostatic hyperplasia or BPH, irritated nerves in the pelvic region, and that dull, numb, disconnected sensation that so many older men tragically begin to accept as their new normal. But I refuse to accept that as normal, and I believe you deserve better. I have seen men experience profound, tangible relief when they make the simple act of chewing a clove part of their daily habit. They report less pressure in the pelvic area, less physical discomfort, fewer disruptive nighttime trips to the bathroom, and in some truly remarkable cases, a very surprising and welcome return of sensation and function that they honestly thought. I worked with another man, Daniel, who was 71. He was a pragmatist, an engineer, and deeply skeptical of natural remedies. But after a few weeks of consistently chewing one clove each morning, he called me, his voice thick with emotion. He said, "Doc, I can't believe I'm saying this, but it feels like I have more control again. Not just in the bathroom, but in the bedroom." He was almost whispering. He had tears in his eyes. That is the kind of life-changing impact that small, consistent changes can have when they target the root cause of the problem. And here is the inherent beauty of this natural approach. Clove doesn't act like a blunt pharmaceutical instrument. It works subtly, systemically, lowering the fires of inflammation gently over time without shocking your system or causing a cascade of side effects. It supports your body in doing what it was always designed to do: protect itself, repair damage, and function fully. This isn't just about stopping discomfort, it's about restoring dignity, confidence, and a sense of wholeness. Now, just imagine for a moment. Imagine if your blood is flowing more freely. Imagine if the chronic inflammation is starting to cool down. What happens next? The nerves begin to wake up. Imagine if your nerves could feel more again. If your body responded not just mechanically, but with true, vibrant sensation. Because next, we're going to talk about something even more personal and profound. How clove may actually help you feel more pleasure and restore the kind of immediate, joyful response that makes intimacy come alive again. Let's talk about that now. 3. Improves nerve sensitivity and sexual response. If there's one deeply personal change that men rarely talk about, even with their doctors or partners, but think about constantly, it's the gradual, heartbreaking loss of feeling down there. It's not just the loss of firmness or the decline in stamina. It's the sensation itself. That electric spark, that tingling excitement, that immediate and undeniable physical response to touch or even just a thought. Over time, many men begin to notice that while the desire is still burning in their mind and heart, the body just doesn't react with the same immediacy or intensity. And I'll be honest with you, it's one of the most emotionally difficult and isolating changes for a man to face. It can make him feel like a stranger in his own skin. But here is the critical piece of information that most people, including many physicians, don't realize. Much of that loss in sensation has very little to do with your chronological age itself. It's far more about the cumulative damage to the tiny, delicate nerves that control sexual response. And where does that damage come from? It comes from years of oxidative stress, the biological rusting from the inside out, chronic inflammation, and poor circulation, all of which tend to accelerate after the age of 60. These nerves are incredibly delicate. Once their signals are dulled, so is the entire experience of pleasure, no matter how present your partner is or how willing your mind may be. The experience becomes muted, like listening to a beautiful symphony through earplugs. Now, here is where clove enters the picture in a truly remarkable and often overlooked way. Not only does it support healthy blood flow and reduce the fires of inflammation, but it is also incredibly rich in powerful plant compounds, particularly flavonoids like quercetin and camphorol. These compounds act as neuroprotective agents, helping to protect and even support the regeneration of nerve tissue. In laboratory studies, these specific flavonoids have demonstrated a stunning ability to shield nerve cells from oxidative damage, enhance the speed and clarity of signal transmission between nerves, and promote the body's natural healing processes. What does this mean for you, in practical terms? It means that chewing a single clove every day isn't just a strategy for getting more blood to the penis. It may be a strategy for helping to restore the feeling within the penis. It's about turning the volume back up on the symphony. I've had older men come back to me, sometimes quietly, almost embarrassed by the good news, saying things like, "Doctor, I don't know how to explain it, but things feel different now, more alive, in a good way." One gentleman, a 74-year-old widower who had started dating again, told me, "I thought I'd never feel that kind of intense pleasure again. I honestly didn't expect this." And the way he said it, the light in his eyes, it wasn't just relief, it was pure, unadulterated joy. He felt whole again. You see, what matters most in true intimacy isn't always mechanical performance. It's connection. It's presence. It's the ability to feel fully alive and responsive in the moment. And when that raw sensation starts to return, so does confidence, so does presence, and so does a renewed passion for life and for your partner. This isn't about trying to become 25 again. It's about reclaiming what makes you feel like you, at any age. And let's not forget, nerve health is interconnected throughout your entire body. Healthy nerves in one area support the health of your entire nervous system. This includes promoting emotional balance, mental clarity, and even physical coordination. So this one tiny, unassuming spice could be doing far more than you realize by nurturing your nervous system at its very roots. But as powerful as this restoration of sensation is, clove's benefits don't stop there. In fact, the next benefit might be the most surprising of all, because it has to do with an invisible army of bacteria hiding in your mouth and your gut that may be silently killing your performance, your energy, and even your testosterone, without you ever knowing it. Let's dig deeper into this hidden connection. 4. Kills harmful bacteria that cause erectile weakness. This might surprise you, but some of the biggest and most persistent threats to your erections aren't just located in your arteries or your hormones. They are living and thriving in your mouth and your gut. I know that sounds strange, a leap too far, but please stay with me. Over my many years in practice, I've come to understand just how deeply and intricately connected every single system in the human body really is. And nowhere is that connection more obvious, yet more overlooked, than in the link between hidden bacterial infections and sexual performance. You see, we've already established that chronic inflammation is a major, direct cause of erectile dysfunction. But the crucial question is, where does a lot of that systemic inflammation actually come from? For many men, the fire starts in the mouth. It begins with harmful bacteria in the gums, a condition known as periodontitis, and in the digestive tract, a condition known as dysbiosis. These microscopic invaders don't just stay put. They release potent inflammatory toxins into the bloodstream that then circulate throughout your entire body. These toxins quietly and methodically damage the delicate inner lining of your blood vessels, the endothelium, which cripples your ability to produce nitric oxide. They also interfere with your body's complex process of testosterone metabolism. The devastating result? Weaker blood flow, sluggish and imbalanced hormone function, and a body that just doesn't respond with the vigor and reliability it used to. Now, here is the good news. Clove is one of nature's most powerful, broad-spectrum, natural antimicrobials. When you chew it, the essential oils in the clove go straight to work in the oral cavity. They begin killing off the specific bacteria that cause gum disease, inflammation, and bad breath. This is why clove oil has been used in dentistry for centuries. But the impact doesn't stop in your mouth. Once you swallow it, those same powerful compounds continue their work in your gut. They help to rebalance your microbiome, selectively targeting harmful pathogens while leaving the beneficial bacteria largely unharmed. This helps to heal a leaky gut and dramatically reduces the systemic inflammation caused by these harmful microbes. I've had men come into my office complaining about a trifecta of seemingly unrelated issues: persistent bad breath, chronic bloating and gas, and a flagging libido. On the surface, these three things seem like separate problems. But often, after just 2 to 3 weeks of the daily clove chewing routine, they report a fascinating cascade of improvements. Not only does their breath improve and their digestion calm down, but their overall energy, their mood, and their bedroom confidence begin to shift in a positive direction. That is the kind of profound, whole-body impact this one tiny spice can have when it addresses a hidden root cause. And here is what makes this approach so special and intelligent. Clove doesn't act like a carpet-bombing antibiotic that wipes out everything, good and bad. It helps to selectively fight the root cause of the problem, the pathogenic overgrowth. It gives your body a clean slate, a chance to rebuild a healthier internal ecosystem from the inside out. And the benefits don't just stop with bacteria. Because clove also plays a crucial role in managing something that silently drains the energy, desire, and stamina of millions of older men: unstable blood sugar. And that's exactly where 5. Blood sugar regulation and insulin resistance. Many older men unknowingly suffer due to blood sugar issues affecting sexual performance. Even without type 2 diabetes, they may have pre-diabetes or high glucose levels. Excess blood sugar damages blood vessels and nerves vital for erections. They experience fatigue after meals, mental fog, and waistline weight gain, sensing something's off but unclear on the reasons. Insulin resistance occurs when muscle and liver cells fail to respond to insulin, leading to sugar buildup in the bloodstream. Over time, excess sugar damages vital male function systems, arteries, nerves, and testosterone metabolism. Clove contains compounds like eugenol that improve insulin sensitivity, helping cells respond correctly to insulin. They also reduce post-meal glucose spikes for steady energy throughout the day, leading to lower inflammation and better hormonal balance. One patient, Michael, in his late 60s, had rising glucose levels. I suggested a 1 clove a day routine. A month later, he reported steadier energy, fewer crashes, stronger morning erections, and renewed confidence. When blood sugar stabilizes, other improvements follow: sharper mind, steady energy, reduced inflammation, and enhanced performance. This all starts with consistent, intentional action. Understanding these benefits is a crucial step. I will highlight how they work together. Men practicing this for 30 days often feel better than in years. To conclude, I want to provide a heartfelt message. This conversation isn't just about cloves, it's about you and your vitality. Many men in their 60s, 70s, and beyond grieve lost intimacy or confidence. But it doesn't have to be over. Chewing one clove a day isn't magic but sparks positive change in your body. It naturally restores blood flow, reduces inflammation, heals nerves, fights bacteria, and balances blood sugar. You're using a natural remedy, aligning with your body's wisdom. I've witnessed men regain confidence, relationship intimacy, and presence through small, mindful choices. If you're still fighting inside, there's hope for change. You don't need perfection or drastic life changes. Start with one simple act. Recommended routine. Each morning, on an empty stomach, chew one whole, high-quality clove slowly for 30-60 seconds. Allow the potent oils to release. Swallow it with a full glass of water. Critical mistake to avoid. Do not use pre-ground clove powder or concentrated clove oil. Powder loses medicinal oils quickly after grinding. Concentrated oil can irritate. Chewing a whole clove ensures you absorb its full benefits. If you felt unheard by healthcare providers regarding sexual health, know I listen. You deserve options and a functioning body. I challenge you to try this. Commit to chewing one whole clove daily for 30 days. Notice any changes in sleep, energy, and sensations. Your body wants to heal.